Hi guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. Quick one, have you ever wondered what an healthy relationship is like? I know for some people they might not even have an idea of what an healthy relationship entails, or what are the signs, or what are the things that an healthy relationship should have, based on so many things, background, the kind of relationship they see around. They might not really know what an healthy relationship looks like or should look like. And if you're one of those people, or if you even know what an healthy relationship, you've seen other relationships, but if they say maybe say one or two things that it entails, you might not really be able to tell. So what I'm here to do tonight is to spell out those things to you, to us, right? So we understand, and then we can quickly recognize it from afar, and you just know, oh no, this is not an healthy relationship. Oh yes, this is an healthy relationship, right? So you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Oluwatosin Sanisi. Thank you for watching. Thank you for clicking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. You're welcome. So today, as I said earlier, we're going to be talking about what an healthy relationship should look like or looks like. I'll be giving us some sort of pointers, as to an healthy relationship, and then we move. I'm trying to make my videos shorter. So the very first thing is acceptance. In an healthy relationship, either with the opposite sex or with friends, one major thing or one important thing is acceptance. You need to accept each other. So I need to accept your person, you need to accept my person. I need to accept you. That you can have this sort sense of belongingness from the acceptance. It's where you're accepted, where you are welcomed, yes, that you feel like you belong to. But if somebody doesn't accept you, you don't even feel like you belong in that kind of place, and you won't even want to be there. So one of the major things in an healthy relationship is acceptance. I need to accept you, you need to accept me, right? We need to accept each other. We need to have that mutual respect for one another, and that's the next thing. Respect. There's mutual respect and understanding, for each other. I respect you, you respect me. Respect is reciprocal. Even if there's 10 years gap between us, or there's 20 years gap between us, respect is reciprocal. You need to respect each other. I need to, whatever I'm doing with you, I can't just talk to you anyhow, because one, you're a human being, right? And whatever I'm doing, I need to put that respect, in it. You can't be arguing and then you say some words, or you just say some things that will just belittle me or belittle the other person. I know when we're angry we tend to say things, but it's important to be able to caution ourselves and to deal with each other with respect. That's the second thing. So the first thing I said was acceptance. Accepting each other, your strengths, your weaknesses, your flaws, who you are, what you're good at, what you love, what you respect, what you understand, your love language. Accepting one another and be ready to roll with each other based on that acceptance. Yes, that acceptance is I see you, I know you, I love you. We are in a relationship, in that friendship, love relationship, whatsoever it could be, work relationship. That acceptance is there, and then the respect is there. Because when you don't accept the other person for who they are or whatever, you might not, you can respect them. Actually, you can actually respect them, but it's deeper when you actually get to that level of acceptance. The respect sort of comes easy, because even when they do things that, like for example, my friends and I, we actually hardly have issues with each other, even when there's that freedom to air your opinion. So I respect your opinion even if it's totally different from mine, and then they respect my opinion even if it's totally different. And same with my husband. We respect each other's opinions. We respect each other. I accept you for who you are. Sometimes I could try to see things from your own point of view, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to accept that thing, or that I'm going to change my own opinion to that thing. So we've learned to accept each other's opinion and respect the fact that even when our opinions are different on a particular situation, because that's the truth, you have different opinion about some things in life, But that's when that acceptance and that respect is there, those things won't be an issue. It won't be a major issue. You can always trash it out and talk it out. Now the third thing is there'll be love. You would this one is majorly for relationships, courtship, marriage, and all of that. Of course, the Bible says love your neighbor as yourself, so it should apply to everyone too, but you need to love. There's going to be love. They are going to act to each other out of love. There's just going to be that love, that that's love. It doesn't have to be this butterfly sort of feeling. You just know that this person is my person, and I'll do anything to help them. I'll do anything to be of help to them, to pray for them, even when I cannot help by my own power. I'll make sure that I pray for them. Like you just genuinely care about each other, right? That place of love, like you just genuinely care about each other. You share things together. You really, really appreciate each other, and you love one another or each other, right? And the fourth thing is trust. You trust each other. Like what each other can do. For my friends, my sisters, if they call me so person did this, I can agree or either disagree, because to an extent I trust and I know what they can do to an extent and what they cannot do, right? Because and trust is as a result of repeated actions over time. You trust that, oh, this is not who they are. They will not really act out in this way, or that's how the person is. They will act out in that way if they are pushed, right? So trust. You trust that, oh, this person loves me, this person respects me, this person understands me, and this person is my friend, this person is my husband, this person is my G, this person is in my tribe. This is somebody I can trust with so many things. You are not doing hide and seek with them. You are not in a rat race. You guys genuinely love each other, and you're after each other's growth, and you're cheering each other up as you're growing, right? The fifth thing is there's room for growth. Now, you shouldn't be with people or with your spouse or your future spouse and then you guys are not growing. Like, there's no growth. You guys are still the same place you were when you met. There should be room for growth. You should encourage each other to grow. Even if they don't want to grow themselves, you need to encourage them, like, do this thing, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that, right? Or even when they show up an interest in something and maybe they are just a bit lazy to follow through, you can always encourage them, give them things that will help them grow. Maybe send them videos about that thing, send them links, send them books, that will help them grow in that particular area. Just letting them know that you need to grow, you need to move, and all of that. And once you guys can have intelligent conversations, and your conversations are not just for girls, your conversation are not just about boys. For guys, your conversation are not just about girls. As husband and wife, you're not gossiping about other couples. You're having intelligent conversations about how to grow your life, how to push yourselves forward. You're having nice, intelligent conversations, spiritual conversations. Talk about life. And all of those things. Another thing is communication. Communication is so important, because all of things I just listed, if communication is not there, those things, there's going to be a major issue, because you need to be able to communicate with each other. Communication is not just limited to talking to each other. There's verbal communication and non-verbal communication. So many other ways to communicate. It's not just limited to speaking. Speaking is what is most important and what a lot of us know or do, but the communication is not just limited to that. There are so many other ways to communicate, so many other ways. So you need to be sensitive to know how your spouse or how your friend communicates. You just need to be able to understand them from that from their own standpoint, and you need to be vulnerable. Communication requires vulnerability, because a lot of people are afraid of what the receiver, what the person listening to them might say about what they're talking about, or their particular action or something. So many people are scared about what people will say, how the other person will receive it. Would the person be offended? Would the person this? Would the person that? You are only responsible for what you say. You're not really responsible for how the other person understands you, right? So many times we say some things and then the other person will say something entirely different, and you'll be like, that's not what I meant. And you're like, oh, that's how I understood it, right? So it's important, that there's vulnerability. You just need to be able to express yourself. And even when the other person doesn't understand, you need to try to take time to say, oh, that was not what I meant. Now this is what I meant. And maybe try to use another illustration, or try to use another example to be able to pass your message across. For example, sometimes maybe when my husband is trying to say something, I understand it to mean another thing. Or maybe if we have an argument or something, or we just have something we need to trash out, and then he replies me in a particular way, me I've completely read another meaning to that thing, and they're like, oh really, this is what you mean? I'm like, I wasn't even talking about that. And I'm like, that's what I understood it to mean. And sometimes I'll laugh, and sometimes when it's not funny, we still stand on that strong face. Everyone is still keeping that straight face and all of that. So it's important, that even when the other person doesn't understand you, you need to try. You need to be vulnerable enough to try to explain to them in so many other ways till they understand. You're just like a teacher in the classroom. You can't just leave your students, without understanding what it is that you just taught them. You need to try to explain in different ways until at least every student understands. But now in this term, it might be just one person, so you just need to try so many ways. At least try your best to explain effectively to them that they will understand. And as if you are the person receiving, the other end of the party, you should also try to not to judge, because in all the relationships we try not to judge. You don't judge the other person, because when you start judging, people will not even want to communicate with you again. Because when they come and tell you, oh, I hit my leg on the floor, you'll be like, it's the shoe you wore. It was your eyes paining you that you know it's the place. That's how I used to do. You don't used to look at the floor when you're walking. All the person just wants at that moment is a simple sorry. It's a simple sorry. Are you hurt? Are you hurt? Are you okay? So sorry. That's all. Not that somebody will say, oh, I hit my leg on the floor. You're like, you don't need to look at you don't look at where you're going. You don't pay attention to any obstacles that could be on the floor. You don't this, you don't. And the person like, I just wanted you to say sorry. That's all this story. I just wanted you to say sorry, and all of that. So yes, and the final thing is commitment. You are both intentionally committed to the relationship. If it's friendship, if it is a love relationship like marriage, or you're cutting, you're intentional, you're committed to each other. Like, I'm committed to you, you're committed to me. I'm going to do everything in my power, to make this work, and even beyond my power, of course, like by praying. That's what I mean. To make this work, except we've tried all of the things, and even when we pray and then we just say that there's no way forward in this place, and then okay, now gaskia, you leave the relationship, but otherwise, I'm doing everything. And if it's a marriage relationship, that I'm doing everything, to make this work in my power, except when someone's life is threatened, and so many other life-threatening situations come in, and then you have to run for your life, or everything is becoming toxic and all of that, and you need to get help, and all of that, but you just don't give up. You get help, 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 and you pray and all of that. So there's commitment, even if it's friendship, you need to be committed to it. You don't want to be an absent friend. You want to be there for your friends. And yes, sometimes we can't talk every day because sometimes it's tiring. I mean, we go about with our lives and every day, but you just know at the back of your mind that yes, this person is there. This person is there for me. Even like I have this set of people to call if anything goes wrong, or even if I have good news to share, whatever. These people are there for me. They are my tribe. They are my people. She's my friend. Is my friend. She's my husband. Is my husband. She's my wife. You just know that these people are there for me, right? So you're committed. It's not just one person that is making all the moves. Both parties are doing their best. You're both bringing your 100% into the relationship. It's not 50-50, it's 100. You're both bringing your 100%, with the thought that even if the person doesn't bring anything, you're bringing your 100. But it's so beautiful when you both bring your 100% into the relationship, and everything just joins together, and it just creates this beautiful harmony and this beautiful relationship that can be an example, that can be worthy of emulation, by people and the world at large. So these are some of the indicators in an healthy relationship. They're not just limited to this. There are lots of other things, but these ones are just a bit common, important, and essential. Important and essential may be the same thing, but you get the gist. So yes, basically, I really hope that you enjoyed this video and you learn one or two things. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and share. Tell somebody about this video. If you want to subscribe, please subscribe. Click the subscribe button and subscribe. Thank you so much. We have 94 subscribers. Let's make it 100, and then we make it 200, and then 300, and 1,000, like that, and we keep growing. Thank you so much. So if you love and support this channel, if you love and support this girl, please like, please share. I really appreciate you, and thank you in advance. Bye. Don't forget to share. Bye.